here's a problem we got. We bring up slave ships, and I'm agreeing with you. This ain't no. I'm riding with what you saying, but here's a problem.
Where they at? Where they at, brother?
Yeah, we
Where
can't find them.
Yeah. We got statues galore. They got the statues of the Confederate Wars and all these other things they want to brag about, but they ain't got nothing with these slave ships.
You know, and they also had cameras during the time. Camera tech, they had the big ass flash cameras. But, you know, I find that strange, you know, because they talk about a bunch of white folks getting off a ship, but they also tell you that black people founded Greece. Black people founded Europe. But it was only whites on the ship. We was already integrated from the jump. If you think about what we saying, it's contradicting.
I agree.
See? So what?
That is correct.
So my thing is this, though, Dane.
But not from here, not on these lands. We're talking about over there. On these lands, it was nothing but us.
My thing is this.
The Asians or the Mongoloids came later. They came later, way later.
What? Well,
that's why you don't see that many reservations.
Hold on. This is what I'm gonna say.
Listen.
Hold on. This is what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
There's something called an Asiatic black man. What Columbus ain't telling us.
That's correct.
What Columbus ain't telling us, if you go and research about Buddha, the first Buddhas was black. If you go and look at a documentary called Sambo, God of Asia, it's a very powerful documentary, been in this community for years, from a scholar of ours, a great teacher. And he broke down the black presence in Southeast Asia and how the word naga, nigger, the serpent. You see, the serpents and the dragons that they got in Asia is the same worship they had in Kemet with the serpent on there. But in America, instead of a serpent, they had the feather. It meant the same thing. But the crazy thing why we get confused today is we say that there was no Mongoloids or Asian presence. When we use the word Mongoloid, what we're referring to is still a character that's on the evolution timeline. It's just at a later time.
No. That's not. When I'm telling you the phenotypes. I'm not telling you the evolution theory.
I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm telling you that the ancestors didn't break down humans into phenotypes. The Europeans did, and I'm not trying to make this into a race thing, but I gotta tell you.
No, that's correct. That is absolutely correct.
So what I do on my channel, because I gotta commend you for what you do, but I just want to let you know what I'm doing to help what you doing on my side. What I do, Dane, I go back and actually look at what the ancients taught, and I just teach it back to the people from the ancients' mouth straight up. Now I know you got primary sources that you use, and you waking our people up with letting them know we've got a rich heritage here on this land, and I want to support that. And my part of where I come into play is all of those ancient people that walked this land had an oral tradition that they kept. You can still research that oral tradition and learn exactly what the ancients taught about human origins. When we talk about,
but can you do that for each tribe?
Here's the thing, there's only one tribe when you research human origins, and that's the seed of humanity. What the ancients didn't have a concept of races. The ancients, you know, they had basically wars among rich and poor people. And you had cliques of people that was rich and poor making up all of these different armies. And they had all races in that army. If you look at Rome, what made the Roman army so great, Caesar's will tell you, one of them wrote in his diary, said that the Roman army had one of each man's own. And what they meant was that the Roman army had Asian folks in it, black folks, Indian folks, if you want to call them in. It was, if you look at the American military today, that's what make the American military great, diversity. They got people that's from every land working for them. And that's powerful. That's what made Rome powerful. That's what created this new world order. And what I'm saying in a nutshell is when you look up what they did.
You're not praising that up.
Huh?
You're not liking that New World Order. Please tell me you're not liking that New World Order.
Oh no, I'm totally against the New World Order, man. I'm totally against it. What I brought it up, what I was saying was it's part of a New World Order agenda to even classify humanity as racist. Because when you do that, it hides.
I agree with that. I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. And the reason that's important,
I know exactly what you're saying, because that was another tactic to separate us as a people. I understand that.
But not just separating us, to hide the truth. See, look, here's what happened. When we introduced, well, I was here first in the kindergarten mentality of they weren't even here, and they weren't even here. That's based upon belief. We have no definitive proof who was exactly on these lands and who not. We going back millions of years. These continents been here so long, and far as we've been born, we see all this diversity on each one. So we can't really say nothing but what we saw in our lifetime, and anything else will be belief. What I'm gonna say is this right here. The reason I brought up the Asiatic black man, because when you look at Olmecan architecture, which is the oldest structures on this American soil, you see a huge Asian influence in it. And I've been researching this shit for the past year, and I couldn't deny it. I even researched the ancient Hindu and South Asian Naginis for flat Earth, and I'm saying that the Olmecs had the same cosmology as them, and I'm looking at the Mayans and all them saying it's the same people all around the earth with this same cosmology. So that no matter what race or what tribe, whatever they was, everybody had the same spirituality at one point, and that's what I teach on my channel.
They were all working together.
Yeah.
They were all working together.
Yep.
They didn't have somebody sitting up there trying to separate them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we were even trading with them up the Lime Stream at the place they want to call the Mississippi River. That's how we were trading with them. The Mississippi River actually looks like a tree branch. It reaches everywhere. They just not trying to show you that no more. You got to go back and take a look at the older maps. But yeah, I mean, you're going to definitely see some similarities in the cultures and similarities in certain heritage all across from the areas that we can see in the world. There's no denying that. This is the reason why I always say that you can't pinpoint the original location of whatever you want to call it, a race. You can't pinpoint that because we can only see, we were everywhere.
Uh-huh. And you know what? I want to clarify something. I'm going to pass Yeah, I want to say one thing, and I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna pass it right back to you. I just want to clarify something. One thing that I teach that the ancients taught that humanity originated from the North Pole. I just want to clarify to the people that I don't teach that as a fact. What I teach is a fact. It's a fact that the ancients taught it, and it's kind of tricky. Think about what I'm saying. It's a fact that the ancients taught we come from the North Pole, even though that fact ain't a belief, if you see what I'm saying. I don't know if y'all get that. It's a belief that we come from the North Pole, but it's an ancient belief, but it's a fact that the ancients had that belief. What I do is just reteach it and let the people decide what they want, because the ancients had science to that. And when I start talking about magnetism, that's when I lose a lot of people, because honestly, not to sound talk down upon my people, a lot of black people just don't know about hyperboloids, counter space and space magnetism, and a lot of Tesla science. That's the shit that my nerdy ass was interested in. But if everybody bring their part of the shit to the table, then we'll get the whole piece of the puzzle. And that's why I commend what you and Pharaoh was doing. I just was saying it's gonna take challenging each other's ideas, just like me and you doing now, real respectfully.